What's going on, everybody? It's Bill Bailey with today's Boondoggle on Domain Cleveland Radio. And we made it through. We got the right browser. We're up and we're live with Jesse from the band Stormruler. What's going on, Jesse?
Hey, hello, everybody.
We had a little bit of a storm, but you're the Storm Ruler, so we made it through, man.
Storm browser.
So how you doing, man?
Doing well. Thanks for asking. Yourself?
Good. So usually when I have a new artist on, I like to get a little bit of a background before we get into current events. So what did you originally want to be when you grew up?
I was a big hockey player as a kid. So, I always did have dreams of moving my hockey career forward, so I guess that. Play a lot of baseball as well. Never really saw myself going deep in that, but hockey, number one is I want to be a hockey player for sure. Yeah.
Nice. And then when was it that you discovered music and then that kind of stole your attention away?
That happens in high school. Your life takes a bit of a different path and you start to realize, maybe this is where my destiny lies. It didn't help that I got kicked out of one high school and had to go to another one, but that definitely put a big damper on my hockey playing career. But suffice it to say, like in high school is when I started really playing music seriously. I mean, I started playing drums when I was 9, but once I started like meeting other musicians and, really discovering stuff, that was when I kind of realized that maybe this could be the path for me. And to be honest, they are very similar. A sports game and a concert, it's like you still it's like this thing that you look forward to and you got to prep for it. You got to practice for it. It's a team thing where everyone's got to do their thing, so sometimes you got the team captain who like organizes everything or whatever. And, there's other teams. Sometimes you're like, oh man, we got to be better than this band or, faster than them or whatever, louder than these guys, whatever, it's not that far off really. There are some similarities I've always found.
Yeah, definitely. So you said drums around 9 years old. Like, what drew you over to drums?
I don't know, man. When I first decided I wanted to play drums was in, probably like 5th grade or so. I had a friend who was a killer piano player, and he had Sega Genesis as well. And we would go, he would like rent games and we'd go play them. And like, he started taking up the bass guitar. And I was like, that's cool. And I was like, oh, I'll play drums. And I was like, right away, I was like, no, that's cool. All right. And we didn't have any drums, but he had a nice collection of unsharpened NFL team pencils. And those made for good drumsticks when you were in 5th grade. Stacks of various heights. So yeah, it just felt like the right thing to do,
And then as you got into high school, your musical taste kind of grew a little bit. And what led you over to like the dark side and black metal?
I mean, I always wanted to get louder, faster, and heavier, throughout my formative years as a musician. So I remember when I first heard Emperor, it wasn't in 1993, but it was in 2000, and I was like the guy in the hi-fi commercial who sits in the chair and it's like, it's just like, this is insane, like that. What is going on here? I was like, there's got to be something here, I've got to discover this. And that was kind of like, that's when I was like, this is like the ultimate ferocity, I was like, with also musicianship and melody. I was like, this is end game right here. So that was around when I made that discovery.
And luckily you already had the hockey background, so your cardio probably didn't need to catch up too much to the drumming.
My legs were strong already. I'm skating around multiple times a week. Yeah, for sure. No doubt.
Nice. So I know you were saying you're short on time, but you got the new albums out on May 28th. It's called Under the Burning Eclipse. And what's like the main message or theme for this album?
Well, a mantra that we've adopted is war and lore. So we tend to delve into like dark fantastical themes that have a deep lore to them lyrically. And in particular for the creation of this record, one game series that really struck a chord with us was the Dark Souls series, as well as Bloodborne. And I was, of course, big fan of Demon Souls, PS3 era. And the lore in those games always struck me as like, man, this is just like asking for black metal. Like how is there not? There needs to be, and we were both into them at the time, and we were like, this would make for some cool lyrics for at least some songs, So like that was kind of our first impetus just for some songs. We never wanted to be like a band that always sings about that, but certainly got a handful of songs worth of lyrical fodder from the Dark Souls lore. And then, books we've read, historical accounts that we've learned about, just stuff like that makes for good warlike music and the full range of emotions that one might experience in a warlike setting.
And then, so you guys have been big gamers too, then?
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. Love video games my whole life. Yeah, always been a big fan.
And what's your current system?
Well, I am a PlayStation man. I do have an Xbox 360, but I didn't really play Xbox One. Actually, still to this day, I have not played Xbox One. And unlike most, I always had this argument with people, but I just think the PlayStation controller is better. I know a lot of people, no way, but dude, that Xbox D-pad, it's terrible. But okay, so but anyway,
that's right. I'm with you. I'm a PlayStation guy.
I love PlayStation, yeah. So but I love Nintendo. I still have my NES, my Super NES, my Dreamcast, my N64. I mean, I love video games from all eras. I also love pinball. I'm a huge pinball nerd. Can't bring much of that into black metal, but for the record, pinball is amazing.
Nice. You should do the Aftershocks podcast. My buddy Chris Aiken does that, and he owns a pinball facility in PA. So
sign me up. Yeah.
yeah. Pretty connected.
That'd be great.
So you guys were able to put together like a whopping 19 tracks. It's like almost like the Gone with the Wind here of albums. Was this all like done during COVID, or was this before, or a little bit of both?
We conceived the idea I think like pre-COVID, but really started writing a little bit before, but then as COVID started to hit and wash over the world, it was like all the more reason to like write more songs, we're like, let's make this record happen. Now is a great time to put something out, And so, yeah, we just, there's 19 tracks, but there's 9 black metal songs, there's a handful of interludes, intro, outro. We wanted to flesh the whole thing out and make it like one piece, but it is an hour long, a solid hour, but, we didn't want to overdo anything or underdo anything. We just felt like it, as one album, like we felt like it would be a good full package. Yeah.
It's almost like a movie. Does it tell like a story from beginning to end?
It doesn't have like an overarching story, but I do feel like musically it almost kind of does. The way the dynamics of the songs kind of ebb and flow, and the way we stuck these interludes in between songs to kind of bring them in and bring them out, as it were. I think it ended up really coming together nicely. Yeah.
Well, it's like back in the day, listening to vinyl and stuff. You pick up an album and you'd be like, you put it on the record player, and you're there for this. You're there for the duration. You're going on a journey.
For sure. Musical journey is big. Definitely wanted to invoke that kind of feeling. Take you on a journey for sure. Each song is its own kind of little adventure, but if you listen to the whole thing, it'll take you over the hills, through the forests, through the seas, and I don't know, over the mountains for sure.
But not to grandmother's house or nothing, right?
Well, you might get to grandmother's house eventually. Yeah, she might end up slayed by orcs or something. So
So you guys are working with Napalm Records. What's that relationship been like so far?
It's been good. Yeah, it's definitely great having a label like that behind you. And, you know, we are extremely thankful to have gotten the opportunity. So we don't plan to squander it. So, yeah, it's great.
Nice. And then I was checking out your video for the Reign of the Winged Duke. And that's pretty badass. Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
What was that like putting that together for you guys?
It was a blast. We had a few ideas formulated, and we knew we wanted to have some sweet armor. And a guy, Juan JT, he did the videographication, and he had great ideas of what to do, and he had some help getting a cool backgrounds and imagery and stuff, and it was real fun, and we had a blast. To be honest, it was fun. It was a good day's work, and an enjoyable opportunity for sure.
And what was like the inspiration behind that?
Well, kind of just like our general music is very warlike. I mean, we want the listener to picture themselves in a battle scenario or fighting someone in melee combat, or even using dark magic or something like that. Awesome shit like that, like video game. I don't know. Can I say shit?
Yeah. You're fine.
So just it's just fun to put on armor and wave your sword around.
Yeah, flaming sword at that too.
That was my idea. I thought that was pretty sweet. Yeah, the flaming
sword. Flaming swords rule.
Flaming swords, of course, rule. It was just we didn't have we kind of put it all together somewhat quickly because we didn't have a whole lot of time to really we brainstormed some ideas, but at the same time, it's like neither Jason or I are video making people, that's why you get a person who does that, who's they have the ideas and you're like, okay, what should I do now? So that's basically, how it went down, but as we make more videos, we'll get more ideas and probably have a little more of an idea of what works, what doesn't, and stuff like that. So for our rookie attempt, we were happy with the way it turned out.
Yeah, I thought it came out pretty badass. So I want to get into some of the questions that I normally ask my guests. Who is your top 3 musical artists?
Ooh, well, do all 3 members of Rush count?
Sure.
I am a huge Rush fan, so that's probably my ultimate favorite band. I'd say as far as influence on Stormruler or Jesse's, favorite.
Jesse's. Yeah, Jesse's.
Oh man, all-time 3 favorite. Okay. I am a big fan of I don't know. I love Emperor. I think that band is just crushed black metal. They were the best in that field, in my opinion. I love Dream Theater. Still do, have for many years. Definitely a band I've nerded out deeply on. There's a band, Allegiance. So I guess pretty underground, I guess, from talking to people over the years, with this black metal band who just crushes. 3 albums, very big influence on us. We were we want to embrace this version of black metal. It's very just chaotic and good riffs. Good put together songs, and I love it. I think they're in my top 3 black metal bands ever for sure.
Nice.
So yeah, and stuff like that. Yeah, and I'm a drummer, so I love drummed rhythmic idea or incorporated bands. I love Porcupine Tree, Gavin Harrison. Listen to that guy play drums. I love it. Stuff like that. Of course, I've been a metalhead for a long time, so I've got I love all the classic metal, the metal bands that everyone loves. And I got a handful of little secret weapons.
Nice. And then, what's the last book you read?
Dune, which I watched the book, or I had watched the series, the David Lynch and the Sci-Fi Channel series, which I actually own both a handful of times. And I was like, I need to read this book. So I read it just actually like a month or two ago in like a week. And that book is killer. I couldn't believe I hadn't read it already. I'm currently reading the Stormlight Archive. It's like a fantasy series from Brandon Sanderson, who finished the Wheel of Time series. I don't know if you're nerd out that deep on fantasy books. I'd like to nerd a little deeper, but sometimes you're like, should I read a book or should I play video games? And it's like you got to do one or the other. It's a tough choice to make.
Sounds like you guys gained some inspiration though for your writing and stuff.
For sure.
Right?
I need to finish the Malazan Book of the Fallen. I started reading that. I got like 65% of the way. It's in my glove compartment, so when I'm bored at work, I whip that out. I need to finish that. I picked up Dune while I was in the middle of that, and I couldn't put Dune down. Especially if you read Dune and listen to the Toto soundtrack. Ooh. But
and then you talked a little bit about like nerding out and stuff. So like, what kind of what is some of your background with like the sci-fi and medieval fantasy and stuff like that? Some of your inspirations there.
Well, I do love. I read the Song of Ice and Fire books long before there was ever talk of a show or any of that. So deep into those. Still waiting on that 6th book, George. And I read the Wheel of Time series like 3 times, 2 times. Well, I made it to like book 10 twice, and then I was like, I'm finishing this. I went all the way and finished that. That's a great series. Read a little bit of the Forgotten Realms books, not a ton, but I read like the first, like Exile and Homeland or whatever, the Drizzt Do'Urden. Of course, video games. I love the Final Fantasy games, and Resident Evil games are like my all-time favorite. I'm wearing the shirt. Playing Resident Evil, going for that platinum on Resident Evil 8 right now. I'm 1 trophy away. Just gotta get those S ranking on the Mercenaries. But Dark Souls games are like the best games I've ever played. I mean, those games are just so awesome in every aspect. The Witcher games are tight. Going hard. I love like the Konami games, Castlevania. 1, 2, 3, 4. Castlevania 2 is amazing. I don't care what anyone says. I love the angry video game nerd as much as the next guy, but his stance on Castlevania 2 is wrong. If you ask me, I think he actually really likes that game, and he loves it so much. That's why he hates it. That's what I think. But
nice.
Yeah, man. So I love that shit. Big fan.
Well, that's kind of a good segue to my next question. It's one of my favorites to ask on here. It takes everybody down memory lane a little bit. But favorite toy as a child?
Well, I think undoubtedly, the Nintendo, but I don't know if that counts. So if we're talking like toys as a child, I'd say my Ninja Turtle toys. I went deep on the turtle toys. I don't have any of them anymore, unfortunately, but I do still have my Battle Damage Skeletor, where you can like rotate his chest, and it's like there's like different gashes for how much bad damage.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's displayed proudly on my video game shelf next to Legolas. But I love the turtle toys. Was a big Turtles nerd. I actually watched the first Turtles movie like a year ago. Man, that shit still stands up. Yeah. So my big thing is good for sure. Mortal Kombat, like huge into Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter 2. That shit was
were you into wrestling at all? Do you have a favorite wrestler?
I was into wrestling, as a matter of fact. The Bushwhackers.
Yes.
They like armpits or whatever. Those guys ruled. Legion of Doom.
Future Stormruler video. You got to pull out a Bushwhacker.
Yeah, but to be honest, like ever since Ted D, he had the $1 Million Man. He had Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Oh. He carried the 2x4 around. I was big into wrestling then. I went to like the matches and stuff, and yeah, But admittedly, once like the WWF kind of went away, I started to drift away from wrestling. So, but it's funny you mentioned that. Just last night, I was like at like a barcade in town, and there was some like a legendary Hulk Hogan cage match. He was fighting like some big Russian dude. I didn't recognize. I recognized him, but maybe not. I don't know. But either way, it was awesome seeing the Hulkster in action.
I could see Stormruler being into the Berserker. You remember him?
The Berserker. I vaguely do remember the Berserker, but not.
He was like a Viking dude.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, you have to go down the Berserker rabbit hole on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then any message that you have for the our military members currently serving overseas?
I would definitely say thank you for your service in the Larry David fashion. Keep it up or do what. Yes. Yeah. Keep doing the push-ups or whatever you do. Sir. Yes, sir. I don't know. I got nothing. I don't know. I'm not much of a military individual, but
Gotcha.
I keep it up. Do make us proud. Make us proud.
Great. Well, hey, I know you said we had to cut it short a little bit, but
yeah, probably. Sorry. Thank you though.
Yeah, no problem, man. But before we let you go, like if fans out there in the virtual audience are like new to checking out Stormruler, they want to listen to more of your tracks, they want to learn more about you, or maybe pick up some merch to support you guys during this time, where would you send them?
I would send them to stormruler.net, which is our website where we have, merch and stuff for sale, bundles. You can get an autographed vinyl. We have 2 different t-shirt designs, different from the ones on Napalm's site. I believe our Facebook is Stormruler Official, maybe Instagram as well, I think. And yeah, for stormruler.net for sure is what I would like to plug. If you're looking for some sweet Stormruler gear, come to .net. If you want to buy the record on vinyl or CD, Digipack, buy it through us at .net. We'll ship it out to you, and we would greatly appreciate it. So, for sure.
And then people wanted to like follow you and see what antics you're up to. Where would you send them?
I would send them nowhere because I refuse to do social media. So, myself personally, I got nothing. The Stormruler sites.
No gamer tag or nothing?
No.
You don't want to argue with anybody out there?
No, I really don't. I let them argue with each other, and then I'll just bathe in the blood of the victors.
Sounds like a plan. All right, man. Well, I know you had another interview you had to get ready for and stuff, so we'll go ahead and just get ready and wrap this one up. But I appreciate your time. And
thank you. It's been fun. Thanks, man.
Yeah, man. And send everybody to check you out. And real quick, any word on any kind of like live shows or tours in the future?
Yes. On Friday, or I believe on May 28th, the same day our record comes out, we're going to have a free live stream, Black Metal Promotions, of a live show that we did. A live stream of a show. So not really a half show. I guess we consider these shows. People do. In this time of no shows, it's as close as one you're going to get right now. But
so where would they go to check that out?
Black Metal Promotions, which is a YouTube streaming site, a YouTube people subscribing to a site, a YouTube thing. What do you call them on YouTube? I don't know what you call them. A YouTube channel.
Channel. Yeah, there you go.
It'll be free, so check that out. I believe it airs at 2:00 on Friday. Yeah, May 28th.
Awesome. We got the plug in then. Good.
Give it a go.
All right. Well, thanks, Jesse. Thanks for your time, man.
Okay,
you take care.
All right, man. Cheers.
Bye-bye.